Hey there viewers, my name is Torinski and welcome back to another DCSS Sunday. Today we're doing the usual jumping in with our series trying to get the Great Player achievement here, winning with every single species of the game, and of course, continuing on with our Kobold attempt, which, I mean, the first two tries didn't go so well, but this third one seems to have stuck on for a little bit longer. Hopefully we don't pilot it into another early death immediately at the start of today's stream, but hey, one can only hope and see how the dungeon decides to treat us today. I did want to pause on this screen for a second. Normally we just enter right in, but I think this is one of my favorite loading arts in the newest version here. There's something about the Tengu framed by the Hydra that's just so awesome. But anyway, enough of that, and let's head in with good old Stabold, of course, surname Beef, as with all our lovely kobolds today, a long, proud lineage of sneaky lizard people. But okie dokie, let's do a quick little refresher as to where we were sitting at. We definitely had, I remember, decent fire resistance for once. We had all right willpower, at least if we swap up some equipment, and really solid evasion. So if we take a peek, we have RN extra stealth. That +9 dex was a huge part of what brings us up to 33 evasion. Not too bad there. And lovely boots, fantastic ring. Looking like we're pretty much all set, because today we're going to be starting off. We had just finished clearing out Swamp and the rest of the standard dungeon floors, and we're just getting ready to hop down into Snake, which definitely I have a bit of a personal bias against recently, just due to how many truly promising characters we've piloted to their unfortunate death in the depths here, but I'm sure we can get through all right with good old Stabold. It was also our first attempt here to run a character that is worshipping the Wujian Council, and was definitely enjoying all of the new mechanics at play there, so hopefully we can put that to good effect today. Maybe even figure out how Heavenly Storm actually works, wouldn't that be nice? But alright, started off there, switching away from our willpower ring to resist poison, because we'll definitely want that hanging through here. It does bring us up to full fire resistance, so any salamanders down there, not going to give us too much of a hard time, hopefully. But we'll have to keep an eye out for willpower targets, because we're sitting a little under par in that department at the moment. But hey, without further ado, let's go try not to get ourselves killed, shall we? Big part of this will be if we can manage to not wake up the majority of the floor. As if we can get in a bunch of sneaky stabs, that would be nice. Sharpshooter is a decent test for our efficacy early on here, though as we were mentioning over and over again last session, playing on an evasive character is always a bit interesting, because so many of these fights can seem like they're so easy, going so well, and everything changes once we actually start taking hits on that rare chance that happens. Let's head back to the stairs and explore a little bit closer to home. Electric eels, not really too much of a challenge at this point, but definitely will make a lot of noise with their bolts, so we can avoid that for now. Can't cast spells on you if they're dead. That is one way to get past the willpower. You're not wrong. Why didn't I think of that? And there we go, our first stealth kill of the night. That's a good omen for the future. Perfect, another one. Yay, Sunday DCSS, as always, indeed. But welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hopefully, we can get a good showing today. Shock Serpent is another one of those targets that's going to make a decent amount of noise while I'm trying to keep everyone asleep. Can I sneak past that anaconda? Please, Black Mamba, just get out of here. I guess here we can Serpent's Lash and get in. I was hoping to potentially regain some piety. Let's do that. Get some free movement. Get the nice backstab. Lovely. Oh, snakes haven't actually noticed us even with that? Man, we do be sneaky though. And here goes. Okay, as we walk in, we'll start attacking things, which is not actually what I want. Unfortunately, that does wake everybody up, so let's do a quick check. I should have just backed out when I had the chance. What am I doing? We unfortunately don't have any fantastic hallways to fight in. A 2-wide isn't horrible, but taking 3 targets at once might be a little bit rough. This is a nice little hallway, but in order to make it that far against a bunch of fast snakes, not something I'm interested in doing. So let's instead just take a few steps back, make sure we're not waking up new enemies with any noise we make in our fighting. And then now we can try and take advantage of another one of our special Wujian skills, getting multiple hits across our enemies. I think it does something like 80% of our damage to each target that we walk next to. So that's pretty sweet. And that is beautiful. Okie dokie. Sir, please follow me out. Also, what is it that you do here again? OTR and virulence. Is virulence what makes us more vulnerable? Aha, it is. More vulnerable to poison. So even through our resistance, we might have to deal with a little bit of nonsense there. So we'll see how we do constriction. We can see our evasion takes a little bit of a hit, as well as constriction damage, I'm guessing, is undodgeable if I had to guess. That's not great. It's up to 6 damage for constriction. Not fantastic, but we should be okay just fighting one of you. It's going to be sketchier once we're in a bit of a doggy pile, but for now, sitting pretty. And everything's awake and just wandering, hey? That's a shame, too bad. I guess we could use our poison darts to just cause a bit of commotion. Make this one snake walk towards us. It's probably for the best. I also realized we haven't checked out our skills for the day yet, so let's take a quick peek in here. We do have a bit of throwing, so maybe we'll actually switch over to a boomerang, actually try and apply some damage to draw their attention. Yeah, 22 dodging. That'll do it for you. 22 dodging and a +9 dexterity piece of armor. Not too shabby overall. So let's take you, friend, back into this little cubby hole. Perfect. Still using the short sword of speed, so we're definitely going to be looking today for a replacement weapon, preferably still short blades. We could definitely start our transfer over to long blades if we find something a bit more usable in that department. But essentially we just want this base damage to be looking a little better, unless we find something like a quick blade, and then we can stick to fast, weaker attacks. That is a bit more feasible for the late game. Okay, a little bit of poison slipping past us there. Holy cow. That's quite the poisonous bite on these sons of guns. Oh, 200 to move recklessly. Now, there was a good example of the variability that we were talking about earlier, because we fought a few sea snakes, no problems whatsoever, and yet things get a little bit spicier some of the time here. We also want to potentially stay away from water. A bit harder to sneak around there. Ooh, a bunch of shops, don't mind if I do. Almost definitely end up buying heal wounds and haste, more curing potentially as well. Having only 4 is potentially not enough, rather, to get us through the rest of the run here. Could buy a quick potion of attraction. The attraction that TR already carried on over to Protion, of course. Wouldn't be a stream if I didn't immediately jumble up my speech. Okie dokie. Hopefully we're looking okay. I was thinking just before the stream today that at least we have resistance to electricity, so we don't have to worry about the shock serpents. I think on one of our recent runs, that was a big sticking point. Was just taking far too much damage from those sons of guns. Electric eels, I guess, in a similar boat, but at the end of the day, you don't deal quite enough damage to get me concerned. And perfect. Hello, friends. Oh, let's step down and around the corner so that the sharpshooter has a bit of a harder time getting to us. Perfect. Would have preferred if you didn't swap places with your weaker friend, but hey, it is what it is, and we're okay coming out the other side. Beautiful. It is very satisfying when we can get the stab attacks even on confused enemies. I guess that's what you get when you're 1 pip away from maxing out the stealth stat. Pretty awesome. We will, in a similar vein to switching out from our short blades into long blades potentially in the future, we might also end up switching into slightly heavier armor at some point, depending on how it goes here. Especially for the much later parts of the game where maybe something like Golden Dragon Scales might be a bit more tenable for our own survival. It's a weird mix, right? Because so many enemies stop caring about AC in the late game, but what enemies are still negatively impacted by a strong armor class score becomes very necessary to reduce some of those hits. Okay, Snake 1, not too bad so far. I'm not going to be lulled into a full sense of security. Never again, not in Snake. But still can be happy to see that when it does come up here. Get you, get you. Gotta love those lunge strikes. And there we go. Now people are waking up a bit, unfortunately. Let's take a few steps in. In fact, I changed my mind. Let's just head to the stairs here before we draw too much attention. How do you change the Explore Seed? I don't actually know. Even though I constantly am mentioning that we put our seed up so that people can play along, I've never actually played a seeded run. It might only be possible offline and not on tiles. I don't know if there's anyone in chat who has a better idea and actually knows the minutia of implementing that. I would love to know for the future as well. Hello, friends. This is a nice little backstep place to get a bunch of free hits. Oh, we did get weakened. That should be fine. We can even break this fight up a little bit. Play it safe. It's hopeful as well. Thank you, Kelly. And thank you so much for the prime as well. I appreciate that a whole lot. And things are definitely going well so far. I mean, hey, hard not to when we're just 3 minutes in. It'd be kind of unfortunate if we were already down in the dumps. But I'm hoping we can continue to do well as we move forward here on good old Stabold. I mean, I'm ready for a similar effect to last week when we got hit all of a sudden for almost 100 damage and took out our entire health bar. But that aside, I think we're going to be looking pretty good here. Ooh, hello, Azul. Definitely like the stab on you. It's just the thing of beauty when it works. When it works, it definitely works. Aw, shucks. And that time everyone woke up, unfortunately. Of course, we'll take advantage of one of the few factors that are in our favor here in Snake. Just run away the instant that we see too large of a group of Naga. Slowpokes can't keep up, fortunately for us. And we'll probably do a similar thing here. Maybe even trying to draw them out a little bit more. Come on, come to me. Just one of you at a time, ideally. Would that be nice? Perfect. Guess dreams do come true, I guess. Sometimes, when the stars align. Sir, please. Beautiful. And there we go. This is going to be our first scary target to go here. Naga Warriors just have pretty good defensive capabilities, which we've definitely seen on certain characters with a low base damage weapon. You can have some trouble chunking through. So we'll definitely have to play it by ear a little bit here, see how it goes. I mean, throwing weapons are still relatively strong. Oh, right, you have a polearm. Cool, kind of forgot how that worked. Now we can see how this goes. Not great is the answer, so I will just run away. And what can I do to take out Naga Warriors? Poison branded weapon could potentially slip some poison past their defenses, but we still have to hit, of course. Alternatively, throwing weapons didn't seem to be doing too badly here. Base damage is the same as our dagger, just calculated differently, I guess. Or it's purely anecdotal and I'm completely wrong. And in fact, this time around it's going much better. Enemies getting slightly worse rolls on our attacks. I did see that they just dropped or one of these enemies we fought recently, where did it go? Dropped a short sword of draining. How would that do? And some stronger targets. Potentially alright. I don't know if I'm using this dagger or venom anymore, at least not anytime soon, so let's swap it out for now. Can at least experiment a little bit in the future here. Aw, shucks, you woke up right as I was getting into position for a good old lunge. My bad, my bad. Try not to say too much about the progress that we're making so far, because don't want to jinx anything here in the scariest section of the game, in my opinion at least. Or so it would seem from our more recent attempts. As long as these sea snakes miss us a decent amount here, we should be okay. Also, something is very seriously wrong with my speech today. I'm constantly fighting against throwing in extra syllables and letters where they definitely don't belong. Beauty. I stab ya? I'd like to stab you. Oh, unfortunately, not quite the same effect on the Black Mamba. There we go. That's how we take care of Naga warriors. Just never let them wake up in the first place, and you're a-okay. It's that easy. And okie dokie. So it seems like we're doing alright so far. We of course haven't fought up against big crowds of constrictors stopping me from being able to retreat upstairs, and that's usually where we've run into problems in the past. So we'll just have to ride this high emotion for as long as we can. Try and get some good luck as we continue on through the rest of Snake Pit. I guess we did at least already run into a unique, and we were fortunate enough to get the backstab, so that's pretty huge. Since so often when we find ourselves here, we're being overrun with uniques, and isn't that perfect timing? Agnes just popping up out of the blue, just in time to get stabbed. Beautiful. I do love to see it. And so all these guys gave jobs where they just sleep. Exactly, they shouldn't be sleeping on the job. Maybe no dungeon delvers would make their way through and steal their precious rune if they just actually paid attention. Well, as long as we don't give them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, we're happy for sure. And whoever's paying them should probably be informed. There we go, Snake 2. All cleared out, I guess mostly cleared out. Sorry, Electric Eel, didn't mean to discount you there. Beautiful. I wouldn't mind a bit simpler of a snake. I mean, so often we find ourselves in these wild looking vaults where it just seems almost impossible to get through without alerting the horde, as it were. Ooh, Shimmering Rapier. I am looking for a new sword. It is vampiric, unfortunately. Enchantment of +0. Enchantments do kind of stop mattering at a certain point of the game. And in general, this is a beautiful sword. If you take out that +0, it's vampiric, resistance to electricity, some positive energy, which we know we always need in these runs. Willpower on the weapon is pretty huge. Definitely fills out some of our holes here. And int -2, not a big deal whatsoever for us here. Not really casting any spells, anywho. So no matter what, I'm picking this up. Time will tell if we actually implement it and put it to good use here. Oh, I knew it was too good to be true. We got a few incredible stabs in a row there, and that's as far as we get today. At least for now. We can... I mean, the dream would be to do something like clear the entire Snake 4 end vault without waking up a soul. Just a thing of beauty. And yeah, I agree, Save it definitely worth carrying around. We never did end up using the vampiric weapon on one of our previous Kobold attempts, so maybe this time we can do so. In fact, this is a decent target for it. Again, getting past the relatively high AC on these buddies is a bit of a pain. We have slightly better base damage with the rapier, still the same base accuracy too, so everything else remains honky-dory there. Almost max out skill, not quite rather. but we can take a look at this and see if it at least heals us enough to make these fights a bit more straightforward. The answer is potentially just no. But hey, we can run away. Tried to throw something with the quick key, and of course it's trying to keep me safe from myself here. So often we've been in statue form the last few times we've come here, so it has been slightly less viable to do this cheeky hit method where we just keep our distance, keep throwing, and hopefully not worry about anything. I mean, I did almost ruin it immediately by walking into unexplored territory. If we'd been taken by surprise there, snuck up on from behind, might have been a bit sketchier, but we're a-okay. The last thing I'll check here real quick. I believe a rapier and a short sword are equally good at stabbing. It's particularly good. Perfect, good to know. Something like a dagger, of course, is much more efficient or much more effective as a stabbing implement. But this is definitely good enough for our intents and purposes here. Excuse me, sir, please wander away. Wouldn't that be nice? I just want to sneak up to your friends. In fact, I think this might be a good opportunity for a serpent slash here. Just make sure we get in. And I wanted to test something out. Because sure, we could step in, get the backstab on the sharpshooter. That'd be nice. But I think our stepping whirlwind attack, where we hit multiple enemies with each step, can trigger backstabs. So let's try moving here instead. Also, I was wrong. For the record, definitely just incorrect there. Good to know. This is why we test, though. It's for science. It's for the future. The more you know and all that good stuff. Excuse me, friends, if you could come join me down here, that'd be greatly appreciated. Oh. And too fast, too sneaky. Just immediately leaving everyone in the dust. Not too bad. I think I am liking this rapier, especially since it does bring us up to 3 pips of willpower, which will prevent us from getting any surprise effects smacking us down from on high here. And the vampiric part of the rapier doing a fantastic job, just making sure we're kept in a safe position. Are you going to surround me? No? There we go. Knew it was coming. Guardian serpents, never a good sign here. Not too bad. In fact, this rapier is going so well that I think I will turn short blades back on, training it to 14. Just try and get this rapier down to min delay so that we can get all that good healing as we go through a fight. Now let's take care of you like we did your friend, or not, never mind. We'll just lose you, I guess. Lose you in the mists. Oops, not P. O is auto explore. There we go. I guess we'll just move on for now. Have to finish that fight sometime in the future. Ooh. Guardian Serpent, you gonna bring a warrior down to the other side of me? Because that's definitely where things will start looking a little sketchy for us. Ah, no, just a regular Naga. Okay, I'll definitely take that. In fact, I think I will kill them first. Or maybe I get them close to death. Issue is I don't want to kill this Naga just for the Guardian Serpent to surround us with a warrior. But I also, once we kill the Guardian Serpent, don't want to be boxed in with the Naga warrior with might active. Because that sounds a little bit sketchy. Seen how we've performed in the previous encounters. Okay, just you follow us, since you're a little bit faster. You sneaky pal. Beautiful. And then we should be good moving forward. We can even start this fight the regular way. Hopefully our evasion holds out long enough to make it through like this. Otherwise, we go full retreat mode. And just run flinging boomerangs over our shoulder instead. Like so. Oh, geez. Oh, sir. You snuck up on me. I didn't see you there. You can't do that. Okay. So, a little bit sketch here as another one joins the fray. We're not too worried about their Venom Bolt breath weapon, so that's not too shabby. And in fact, I think for you, sir, we'll just run upstairs, quickly heal up here, play it safer than we necessarily have to. Perfect. Should also turn my mug, make sure I'm displaying my name tag. Perfect. Well, let's do this, you and I. Yep, not great. So just holding down tab, a little bit sketchy. I was hoping that auto fight would save us before anything too brutal happened. Closer call than I otherwise might have liked, but here we are. Now we can do the old boomerang chuck trick. And hopefully take you out. Oh geez. Okay, we definitely don't want the anaconda constricting us from heading upstairs. That's how bad things start to happen. Oh, almost happened anyway. Maybe I shouldn't just immediately head down the stairwell with the waiting anaconda in the wings, but we're okay here. Not doing too badly. Maybe? Maybe? There we go. Jeez Louise. Alright, so this is definitely where we're starting to hit that wall, where our tiny little knives aren't quite doing enough damage to puncture through the defense of a lot of the enemies we're coming across, unfortunately. So we'll have to see how that continues to progress as we make our way through the dungeon, and sooner rather than later we might find ourselves switching weapons. Something that will do just a slightly better job in keeping us alive. It's funny because I really like the idea of a vampiric weapon on an evasion-based character, because if you're just dodging a whole lot, then you have a lot of turns to recover the health that you do lose from those big hits when they poke through. So it definitely does work out and pay some dividends in the long run. We just have to get lucky, it's that easy. As for what we want to drop here, probably do have some useless stuff. Berserk Rage potions we might use, so should probably keep them around. Scale Mill with the Monkey's Uncle did us good when we used to be wearing it. I don't think we'll be saying goodbye to our +9 dexterity anytime soon, so maybe we'll drop that bad boy for now. Find the Identify scroll that we left behind. Let's head up that way, shall we? And see what this thing do. Troll brand weapon. Ooh, okay, so now we can maybe make our own fancy fighting implement. Without the backstab, we are bad at fighting. Unfortunately so. It gets a little bit rough when we have to actually engage in some head-to-head action here, but I believe in Stabolt. We can pull through the hard times and that will just make the victory that much sweeter, I'm sure. Also, hold up. I just saw a regular kite shield. Maybe we should think about swapping up to one of these bad boys soon. Training shields is a bit of a pain in the butt, and we do have to train it higher than we otherwise might for a kite shield to make up for our size. Yeah, there you can see it, up to 21, so almost as much as you have to train a regular sized character to use a tower shield. Let's see, and we'd go up from 3 to 8 for base shielding. Makes reflection a little bit better, which is why I'm definitely eyeballing that there. Let's at least start training shields in the background, shall we? Maybe we'll switch over before we get quite to 21, because training against a bad aptitude does such a ridiculously high skill level. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch. It's going to take some time, for sure. So we'll find when there's most likely to be a bit of a crossover point where we can maybe still use it effectively without reducing the attack speed on our main hand too much. There we go. See, when we can kill half the pack in sneaky style, we're totally okay. Ain't no thing. Oh geez. Mara, though, is very scary. Okay. I mean, we do have good resistance to fire. If we can get the backstab off, we'll be looking pretty nice here. In fact, we just need to take one step, and then we can use free steps to ensure that we get the backstab. And if we have to run away, we've explored most of the floor, so we can definitely use scrolls of teleport. Have a couple blinking if absolutely necessary. Of course, I'd prefer not to. So let's step once. Then we definitely want to Serpent's Lash, move towards. Please just kill you one hit. I'm worried it won't. With 144 health, holy crap, it does. Not even a chance. We skewer Mara like a kebab. I mean, that's definitely what you want to see here. Demon Blade is definitely in the running for a potential swap in our future. Could even brand this to something other than Flaming. Hopefully Vampiric. A Vampiric Demon Blade would be pretty incredible. We'll have to keep that in mind, that we have a relatively early Demon Blade available for the future that we may or may not use. See how everything rolls out here. Ooh, unidentified potion. How many more of those are even left here? We gotta be getting down, right? It's either attraction, cancellation, or experience. I'd guess it's gonna be something like attraction. Just because that's one that I'm very sketched out about using, because I've definitely almost killed myself in the past with a mistimed, unfortunately activated attraction. And again, we could go searching for that ID scroll we left behind. It's nice when it's right there on the same floor. And would you look at that? It is a potion of attraction. And I agree, the Demon Blade is a very nice find for later. We can definitely try and swing that into something beautiful. Sirs, if you could all come this way, please. Because it depends on which one is coming first. You, we fight. Warrior, we do not fight. We run like the coward we are. I guess maybe we can fight just a little bit. Nope, that's why we don't fight. Instant regret. Especially with the Mighted Sharpshooter in the back. Not looking great. So we'll bring this warrior upstairs. That way we have a bit more room to stretch our legs if we did have to start running along. And last but not least, get rid of this son of a gun. Oh, dang it. I just want some sneaky stabs, please, game. My Kobold, it's very sick. Needs some stabs. In reflection, looking pretty nice there, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Be nice if we could get the polearm user. Oh, unfortunately, they're a little bit smarter than I was giving them credit for and immediately swap positions. In fact, warriors coming up behind and they could potentially get hasted, so let's just get the heck out of here. And yeah, we'll bring you upstairs. Did have to fight up against one stack of constriction there that definitely could have gone poorly. In fact, still not out of the heat yet. Dang it, I was excited because haste ran out on our enemy and then they immediately rehasted, of course. Okay, Naharaja, I did not expect you to be what started to truly give us some troubles here. Could probably get a few throws in still. I'm actually curious. Are we better off walking up to you? No, I guess with constriction, 27 damage. Probably would rather take poison arrow and venom bolt shots that we're resistant to, especially since it does poison you right back. Please, sir. Stop this. Please, sir. There we go.